Hello, YouTube, and anybody who watches this. I guess I gotta weigh in on my thoughts about this Last of Us 2 bullshit. I've heard all the leaks. I've found out what the game is about, and it's about Neil Druckmann's female or transgendered empowerment agenda. Don't watch this video if you don't want spoilers, because I'm gonna spoil the fucking game right here. I loved the first game. I sucked at it, but when I went to PlayStation Experience in 2013, maybe 2014, can't remember exactly, but it was the first one they ever did. I got to play the Left Behind DLC, and I fucking loved it. Oh my god, it was so much fun. And I was like, what? If this is what The Last of Us is, because I had the original game and I couldn't get anywhere. I hit a wall. The enemies were too tough. The mechanics were too out of my, it just didn't appeal to me. Because I couldn't move past one enemy. Just kept killing me over and over and over again. I didn't know what to do. But in playing Left Behind, I fell in love with the character of Ellie. She's so fun and cool. And you get all the way through that, and she's very, she'd sacrifice everything to save Joel. I'm like, this is so cool. This is what heroics are about. This is why we love comic books. This is why we love video games. This is the reason we love this shit. So, of course I had to buy the game. And I only ever played through the Left Behind DLC because I figured I'd run into that same problem again. But the Left Behind DLC made me go I want to play more of this. I want more of this world because I got the mechanics down. I've got the movement down. I got, everything down in that DLC. So I want the next game. And when it was announced, I was super stoked. I was like, yeah, get more of Ellie. Me playing as Ellie, kicking ass. Just like I did in the Left Behind DLC. Now, some people would call me a freaking cuck or a simp or something, but that was what I liked. That was the part of the game that I liked, especially playing at the PlayStation Experience. There's that scene where you and that black girl are throwing rocks at a car down below, or not rocks, but bricks, and if you win, Ellie goes, "Brick fucking master." She won my heart right there. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, this character won my heart with that line. I know it's stupid, but yeah, The Last of Us meant something to me. It did. And then to hear what's happening, what the storyline of the new game is, I'm just like, Anita Sarkeesian and Neil Druckmann have to be just completely and utterly forced out of the video game realm. Anybody who ever listens to Anita Sarkeesian needs to just jump off a bridge or something. I mean, not to die, just to get the fuck out of video games. Because we don't need that nonsense. Video games have been cool for so long until she showed up. And she's not a developer. She's just a commentator. She's a girl that comments on video games and tells you why they should be better. Why can't Nathan Drake have a daughter, not a son? Huh. Well, because the way they wrote it, it was a son. And then you showed up, and now he's got a daughter. How can Nadine beat up Nathan? Well, we wrote that in. It's not one of his past male, adversaries. No. We're going to create a new one and use her to beat Nathan. Because of Anita Sarkeesian. Now, here's the thing. Get woke, go broke is a thing. And The Last of Us has gone woke. And everybody knows what it's about. Everybody knows what's happening. If you follow any of the leaks, I've seen so many comments saying, I pulled my pre-order. I've pulled my pre-order. Nobody wants this game. Nobody wants it now. Not after what the leaks have said. And I'm not going to go over them here, but I mean, I should. I mean, no one's gonna. Well, I shouldn't say that because people do watch my videos. I don't want to get copyright stricken. Just a guy standing in an empty parking lot talking about a video game. But I know what happens in the game, and I think it fucking sucks. I think they've completely and utterly betrayed the gamers. Like, the people that were excited for this game, they've just completely and utterly betrayed them. Myself included. This isn't what I wanted. I wanted a game where Ellie kicks ass. Like, you go through the whole game, and as Ellie, maybe Joel's there backing you up. In the first game, you play as Joel with Ellie backing you up. In this one, you play as Ellie, maybe Joel backs you up, maybe you meet some new characters, and they back you up. That's what I was hoping for, and we try to find a cure for this freaking salad disease. I don't know what it is. You know, people get sprout vegetables on their head and they turn into some kind of weird zombie. We need to cure that. That's the idea. Ellie's immune to it. For some reason, she get bit, scratched, anything. She doesn't turn into one of these. And, you know, in the first game, she's a very compelling character, but it wasn't until I got to play her that I really felt the world, you know? And I think it's just me. I don't know. Playing as Joel felt clunky and weird. And that's the PS3 version. I got the PS4 version. I had the PS3 version. Me and my buddy Nick were both trying to beat that, to get past that stupid clicker. And neither of us could beat it. We're like, what the fuck is wrong with this game? Neither of us enjoyed that. We're like, I understand the appeal of a hard game, but this is like, you give me nothing to, you know, to move along with. There's very little resources to use, and when you get to that thing, I don't know, it's like Resident Evil. If you don't save up for that thing, you're not going to make it. And of course, the game autosaves, so have to start all over and play it better the next time. And I didn't care. I do believe that's probably what you had to do. And we were gaga over the graphics on the PS3. Last of Us 1 is amazing. It really is. I just wasn't very good at it. On PS4, Left Behind, I beat that whole thing. Got all the trophies for it, too. Because I tried it over and over again until I got them all. Because I'm a whore like that. But I couldn't play the main game. It left a bad taste in my mouth after the first playthrough. But at the end of Left Behind, I'm like, okay, well, maybe Joel's going to survive, maybe he isn't. I want to see where this new game goes. And I want to play as Ellie. I really do, because I've enjoyed using a bow and, you know, being stealthy, climbing underneath things, because she's small, right? She's like a barely teenage girl. And Joel's like a hulking brute, you know, he's a big guy, so he can't do the same thing she can. And I wanted to play a whole game where I played as her, you know. And the leaks are so bad. Oh my god, the leaks are so fucking awful. If you... I don't want to even link you to a site that's going to tell you what happens in this game. I don't want anyone to play it, because you're just going to be disappointed. You're going to feel so awful when you start it up. Oh my god, now. And the leaks come from a real place, and, you know, Neil Druckmann and all the voice actors and stuff, they've come out and said, just play it with an open mind, yo. We already know what happens in the game. They just want us to, you know, experience it firsthand. And, you know, I'm cool with that. Maybe when it's in a $5 bin somewhere. You know, I'm not going to pay $60 for a game I know I'm going to dislike. Because it's not anything like the first one. And it's not anything like the first one because they're following some agenda that Anita Sarkeesian and Druckmann put together. There's no fucking way. I mean... not at all. And Sony, if you want to strike this video, go right ahead. I don't have any footage. All I have is an opinion. But I know you hate anybody talking shit about The Last of Us 2. And you should have... Sony Interactive Entertainment, you should have gone to Naughty Dog and said, nah, bitch, you're not making this game. Not like this. No fucking way. No one's gonna buy it. No one's gonna like it. And the people who initially review it are gonna fucking hate it. And no one's gonna buy it. You're wasting our time and our money and our resources. Sony should have stepped in. And I blame Sony for this because Why on earth would you let Anita Sarkeesian infect your fucking brand? Sony has had many strong female characters. You know, like Lara Croft and Aloy from whatever that game is. And Beyond Two Souls. There's so many good characters, female characters in Sony. They don't need to destroy this one. And I'm not... Okay, so, like, the leaks are out. They make Ellie a complete and utter lesbian in this game. But that's not a big deal to me. That doesn't destroy her character. You can love who you want to love. No, it's what happens in the first third of the game that I'm totally disgusted by. And everyone should be. But if you want the leaks, they're out there. Just look them up. I find that Sony should not have ever allowed this to come to pass. I mean, Naughty Dog is a fantastic studio. They made so many great games, and now they put out this piece of shit that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for The Last of Us 2 because The Last of Us 1... Spoiler warning. Okay? This is a real spoiler warning. The end of The Last of Us 1... you find out that to find what's up with Ellie and how she's immune to the bites of the enemy flower people, they have to kill her. And Joel kills everyone in that place to save her. It's a very heroic thing to do, considering she's the hope of the whole human race, but he's not going to let this young girl die. Maybe selfish of him, but she's almost like a daughter to him by the end of the game. He lost his daughter at the beginning of the game, and then he gets a new one. And by the time you meet Joel in the beginning of the game, he's a hard ass. He takes none shit. He doesn't take shit from anybody. But by the end of the game, they have a rapport, and a very strong rapport. They are like father and daughter, and he's not going to let her die, despite what it might mean for the whole human race. He's not going to let her die. This is what great games are made of. You know what I mean? Super emotional. Super awesome. And, well, I would suggest you don't find out what happens in this game. But I don't want you to buy it. Don't buy Part 2 at all. If you love Part 1, don't buy Part 2. And if you don't know anything about Part 2, buy Part 1. You're going to love it. It's awesome. Such a fantastic game once you get the handle on the mechanics. It's not like Nathan Drake, where you got, like, almost unlimited ammo. You can sneak up and kill people in one move. The enemies are tough. They're very tough. And their perception is huge. Like, they spot you from anywhere if you make any noise. So, yeah, Last of Us 1, masterpiece. Last of Us 2, total piece of shit, story-wise. Mechanics might be great. I mean, it could be one of the most fun games you've ever played. But the story just completely betrays number one. Like, completely and utterly betrays number one. I just want that to sink in. If you like Last of Us 1, don't play 2. Anyone out there who played number 1, don't play 2. And if Sony wants to strike this video, I'm okay with it. Because they're at fault. They let this happen. They let Naughty Dog and Anita Sarkeesian run wild over the IP that was once a great one. Wish I remember I wish I could remember the initial guy that came up with the IP, because he was so cool in interviews. It wasn't Neil Druckmann. That guy's a fucking piece of shit, if you ask me. But, yeah. It was one of the developers, just a guy, saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did something like this? Like, it was his idea to do this game, The Last of Us. He was one of the artists or something. He was one of the guys, a developer, but not like a producer. He wasn't like a writer or anything. Just some guy that said, hey, you know what? I got an idea. And The Last of Us is what came out of it. And that guy's a fucking hero, but I don't know. Heard about massive layoffs and massive departures from Naughty Dog because of the new regime there. Neil Druckmann, they got rid of Amy Hennig, who was the lead writer on a lot of these games. Yeah. Uncharted 1, 2, 3. Fucking beautiful. Amazing stories. Uncharted 4, though, I don't think she was around anymore. Because they betray everything. I'm just saying, like, as a gamer, I like to play games, right? And I imagine if I hadn't heard about these leaks and I started playing The Last of Us 2 and the things that happened, I probably would have just taken it back or broken the disc or something. $60 well wasted on a game like that. But the first one was so awesome. And like I said, I never made it very far, but I know what happens at the end. Because I spoiled myself because I couldn't get through it. I watched YouTube videos to see how it ends. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you to all the gamers that played all the way through that game. I appreciate it. But yeah, Neil Druckmann, Anita Sarkeesian, you guys need to, like, get the fuck away from video game manufacturing. Anybody who listens to Anita Sarkeesian is, like, straight in a dumpster fire. I mean, honestly, she doesn't know how to make a game. She doesn't have any idea how to make a game. She just wants her woke feminist agenda portrayed in every video game. And that Neil Druckmann listened to her, fucking fool, your game's gonna fail. Your game, the one you wrote and directed and all that, is going to fucking fail. You're gonna make like $100,000 off your millions and millions of dollar investment. Because some people out there are still gonna buy it because they don't know what's going on. And once they play it, they're gonna fucking throw it in the trash. Nobody wants your woke fucking bullshit. Nobody wants Marvel Comics woke fucking bullshit. No one wants this stuff. I wanted a game that starred as Ellie. I did. I don't care about her sexuality. If I get to make out with girls in it, even better. That might be fun for me. But, to take that away, even that away, you dirty bastards, man. Naughty Dog used to stand for something. You guys used to be awesome. You were one of the best game companies out there. Now, Neil Druckmann and Anita Sarkeesian and her fucking woke-ass views on how the world should be. She's so stupid, and anybody who listens to her is a fucking idiot. Ugh. Strike this down, Sony. Have one of your cronies strike this down. I'm going to put Last of Us 2 spoilers as the title. I hope you strike this down because I didn't spoil the game. I hope one of your cronies, not cronies, I wouldn't call you a crony, just one of your low-level employees that has to watch videos that call out The Last of Us has to watch this. I don't even have a clip of the game. I have nothing. All I have is what I've learned. And Sony, you should have stepped in. You should have stepped in and stopped them from doing this stupid shit. This woke shit. And like the saying goes, get woke, go broke, and... Or, what was Jeremy saying today? Go pandering. You pander... Here's the thing. You pander to a select group of people that don't even fucking play video games. This is a real problem. You want to make a game that's so woke that you turn off your core audience for an audience that doesn't play video games. Doesn't want this. And I hate going back to Snowflake and Safe Space, but I have to. This is woke trash from Marvel. They're like, haha, look at this. We got some woke trash for you. They're twin brothers, but she's the other one is non-binary. And the other one's a jock. And of course they draw it so her package is bigger than his. And it's like, wait, what? I mean, she looks more feminine. That's all I can tell you. But she's non-binary. He's not. It's non-binary. It's woke fucking trash. And this is what they get. Marvel ain't gonna sell any of those comics. Except to be trolled. And Last of Us 2 isn't going to sell any copies. Nobody's going to buy it unless they forgot to pull their, pre-orders. Glad as hell I didn't Yeah, Naughty Dog has gone to the fucking SJWs. That studio is gone. Don't trust them to make anything of value ever again. And Sony, I feel bad for you because you have this fucking trash company inside your umbrella. Honestly, I feel bad. I mean, I love Sony. I love PlayStation. I went to PlayStation Experience 1 and 2. I absolutely love the consoles. I love the games. I love the first-party titles. I love everything about Sony. But then you let something like this happen. And like I said, I mean, Troy Baker said, have an open mind when you play it. I'm like, that means it's going to be awful, right? And then I read the leaks. Haven't watched any of the video footage. It might be amazing. I'm sure the graphics are awesome. I'm sure the gameplay is awesome. It's just you don't get to play as Ellie. You got to play as someone else. And it's not Joel either. Just putting that out there. I mean, and like I said, the gameplay might be amazing. I bet it is. I mean, Naughty Dog's never let me down in that department. But the reason you play The Last of Us is for the story. I think. I mean, Last of Us 1, I couldn't pass a certain boss. I've told you that before. I did watch spoiler videos years later because I was curious how it ended. But the Left Behind DLC completely hooked me. Completely hooked me on the mechanics of that game. I know this has gone long, but there's a lot to get out of there. There's a lot to get out here. Yeah, Sony, strike my video, please. I need one. I had a video pulled down last week talking about Heather Antos, and if you don't know who she is, she's like Naughty Dog right now. She works at Valiant Comics, and she's a violent SJW just like Naughty Dog is now. Trying to get people to give them all their money, all their hard-earned money, especially in this fucking trying time for that woke trash. Fuck no. That shit's just not happening. I'm not gonna give her any money, and I hope you don't give her any money, and I hope you don't give Naughty Dog any money, and I hope Sony, well, I want Sony to do good, but this is one of those ones you were banking on, and, well, let's look to Venom 2. I imagine that movie's going to be awesome. I loved Venom 1. Saw it 3 times in the theater and bought the DVD. So, let's hope Sony can rebound from this nonsense. But you should have had some oversight into what they were doing there when executives are leaving right and left because of the messed up shit that Druckmann was trying to push. I mean, I think the game that Sony wanted is the game that I wanted. What's wrong with a teenage girl kicking ass? As long as the mechanics are sound and, Left Behind left an impression on me. It really did. And I wanted more of that. And, it looked like Joel was, at the end of that. So, I'm glad he survived. I'm terrible. I'm fucking angry he survived. Just to have this ignominiable end in this new video game. Just to push a fucking agenda. Just to push their fucking woke agenda. Well, no thanks, Naughty Dog. Until you sweep all the nasty SJWs out of there, I am gonna play another one of your games. Hell, I ain't gonna play the old games anymore. I ain't gonna buy any of your old games anymore. I want you to fail. I want the studio to shut down because of this nonsense. Neil Druckmann, you need to, put your head in a bucket of water and wake the fuck up because you're too fucking woke. Nobody likes this shit. Nobody wants this shit. And it's the reason Marvel Comics is in the trash, because they try to pander to people that don't read comics. And you're trying to make a video game for people who don't play video games. It's simple fucking logic. Anita Sarkeesian is just a cancer. All she is a cancer. Nobody should listen to her. I mean, wait. I was watching... was listening to my... not my boy. He's not your boy, Zach. But it's a guy I watch, and he acts very friendly. On YouTube, Not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's a guy with a name like that. Anyways, he's a comic book artist. And he was talking about, like, he did a retreat with, like, 5 people, right? And it was cool. Like, they all did art together. What is that guy's name? I watched his video this morning. I feel bad now. It's not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's some with a name like that. But his second time he did it, the top 5 recruits were all white guys. And he's like, oh, the optics on this are going to fucking kill me. Why should anyone care what the fucking people on Twitter think about you? This is the problem I have. I mean, he had 5, white guys that were at the top of the class, and he wanted to bring them to his home and, like, put out a product. All of them work together and put out a product like they had in the past. He'd done the same thing before, but before there were 2 girls in there. So he's like, I want to appeal to women. And then of course women were like, what is he, some kind of sicko? You can't win in this world. You just can't win. What is that guy's name? Shit. Completely lost it. But he was wrong to do that. But because all the wrong reasons, I can't have 5 dudes here, 5 white dudes especially. If we take a picture together, he says the optics on it are going to be really bad. Why? Once they see the product, people are going to go nuts for this. It doesn't matter who the creators are. It never has mattered who the creators are. Never mattered to me. I mean, certain creators, I don't know. Some of them are my favorites, like, Frank Miller. And, I would never say Alan Moore is a favorite, but he did write V for Vendetta, and I fucking love that. Watchmen kind of leaves me flat, but I understand what he was trying to do. I mean, what he did. I mean, he completely succeeded at what he was doing. I'm not going to talk shit about him at all. It's just, it wasn't my jam. Not for me. It's like the same thing I said the other night. Like, Grant Morrison's X-Men. It just wasn't for me. That's all. I don't blame him. I think the art was rad. I think the storyline was a little too deep for me. I didn't want that. I want superheroes punching supervillains. I'm a simple guy. I want simple stories. And I mean, there's times when I want complex ones too, but I mean, the X-Men had always been, like, fairly complex. But when Grant Morrison got there, it got so fucking weird. Yeah, anyways. I love comic book creators. I don't know them personally. I just love comics. You know me. And I love video games. You know me, right? But when you pander to a group of people that don't exist outside the 12 psychos on Twitter and Anita Sarkeesian, who are you going to sell this game to? Who are you going to sell that comic book to? It just doesn't work. There's no audience for that nonsense. There's no audience for this woke trash. Because the people you pander to don't play video games or don't have any money to buy them because they're, so woke that capitalism is bad. They don't have a job, they're living on Social Security and whatnot because of their transgenderedness or whatever. I just don't know. I honestly can't tell you what's wrong with these people. But they don't buy comics. They don't read comics. They don't buy video games. They don't play video games. They're not an audience. The SJW Twitter mob is not an audience. They're not there to support you. They're there to tear you down. All they want to do is destroy. They don't care. You can pander to them all you want, but they're still going to destroy you. And what you've done here on The Last of Us 2 is allow that thinking to destroy what is a promising video game. I mean, I'm sure, few years from now, when it's in the dollar bin, maybe next year when it's in the dollar bin, I'll play it. The story's not going to engage me at all, but the mechanics might. The playing of the game might really engage me. But knowing what you're supposed to do in that game and who the protagonist is, it's just such woke shit. Neil, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. And Anita, go somewhere else. Well, I guess the internet is forever, and all of her videos about feminism in video games are still out there. You can watch them anytime you want. And that's what happened to Neil Druckmann. He watched her videos and turned into a complete and utter cuck soy boy. At least that's how I feel. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but you look on his Instagram, he posts a picture of Kurt Cobain saying something that Kurt Cobain said a long time ago. Like, if you don't like gay people, if you don't like blacks, something, and Asians or whatever, don't come to our shows and don't buy our records. It's like, okay, I don't dislike those people. I dislike you. And I dislike the game you made. And the story you're trying to tell. I know this one's going long, but Sony's going to strike it down anyways. It doesn't matter. Because Last of Us is going right in the title. Because if this small channel can't talk about it, I mean, I couldn't talk about Heather Ontos, I guess, because that video got struck. Just removed. Removed for hate speech, I guess. She called me a Nazi. I feel free to call her one too. You know what I mean? But nah, you can't do that anymore. You can't fight back. You can't fight fire with fire. No. Not on YouTube. No, YouTube, I have to be very polite to all the people that attack me. Yeah, it's super cool. And, yeah. Druckmann, I'm not going to say vote Republican and you'll be better. Because the two-party system is so awful, and the way our country is so divided is so awful. I don't want to get into politics, because I think both sides suck. But, there used to be a time when we could meet in the middle on a lot of things, but the last 20 years has been so much push to push us aside. I'm a centrist at heart. I want everyone to get along. I want everyone to live together in harmony and happiness. And I want internet trolls like Heather Ontos to go away. And I want video game directors like Neil Druckmann to, take a step back and look at what he's beheld. Yes, you made a video game that people might like. But a lot of people, like a lot of people, already hate it so much. And they hate you so much. They honestly hate Neil Druckmann so much. This game is gonna be a complete and utter flop. I don't care if you hold it off until next summer, when all this has died down. Well, all that's gonna do is kill your fucking employees, because you won't fucking give them their post-game launch bonuses. But Neil Druckmann got his, didn't he? Oh yeah, Neil Druckmann got his. This is so fucking infuriating. I'm proud of the leaker, or leakers. I'm very proud of them, because the company treats them like shit, and then they make this travesty of a video game, at least a story. I know the mechanics and all that are going to be great. I just know they are. I think gameplay is going to be awesome, but I don't want to play as that character. I don't want to be Abby hunting down Ellie. I don't. If you stayed this long, I guess that's a spoiler. But that's not the game I signed up for. I want to be Ellie hunting everybody else. But you don't get to get that. No, you got to be a transgendered, I don't know, is it a girl to a man or a man to a girl? I'm not sure. But that's the character you get to play in The Last of Us 2. And much like my BMB video, yeah, I fucking hate this woke shit. Anyhow, these are my thoughts on The Last of Us 2. and the leaks and Neil Druckmann and Anita Sarkeesian. And I gotta tell you, Amy Hennig, I miss you so much. I understand why you left, though. The wokies took over. Nowhere left for a good writer. No, not there. Nope. You gotta have all this woke drama, all this bullshit. So cheers to Amy Hennig and boo to Neil Druckmann. I guess that's the end of the video. Hey, it's hard to like this video, I know, because you're going to be looked at as like a racist and a homophobe because I don't like this game and the leaks I've heard. So don't like it, okay? And don't interact with this video in any way except to share it, you know? If you share it with Sony, share it with Neil Druckmann so that they can strike it down. I mean, I can't honestly ask you to like it because they're going to see who liked it and they're going to strike you down. These motherfuckers at Sony just flagging every video for destruction just for talking about their piece of shit game. Sony should have known better. Sony should have had some oversight. Sony should have fired Neil Druckmann when they saw what he was doing with this game. Get him the fuck out of there. That's not, and the toxic work environment and all that. I believe all of this stuff. All the stuff I've heard. Not just it's not the crunch that pissed everybody off, because every video game developer knows about crunch. Nah, it's the feminazis that work there. If you don't like the story, well, GTFO, and you're not getting your last paycheck because we can't let you talk about the game. You got an NDA the last 6 months, and if you talk about the game, you don't get paid. All the awful shit that went down. Naughty Dog used to stand for something. Naughty Dog used to be an awesome game studio. And I mean this. I mean, I'm not sure if it was Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter. One of those they made. Those games are awesome. And The Last of Us 1, of course, and the Uncharted series. All great games. And then we get to this. Neil Druckmann got woke. Go broke, Naughty Dog. No one's going to buy your $1 billion game. Peace.